Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plantations Camp of Philly. This lesson is, resist the devil, he shall flee from you. Now, we moving into a more demonic time period because the end of Babylon is at hand. Hopefully within a few months or years, this place will be gone. But as we get closer to the end, you're going to have stronger spirits that are going to be out trying to sift you. That's another one. Sift you as wheat. Satan has desire to have you. So we have to be on guard. Got to keep our minds on guard for very obvious demonic inception, from spirits trying to affect your pathway. This is Romans 12:10. Says, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Meaning, you help each other. All right. It's reciprocal. It's not just one way. All right. You extend your hand. You offer advice, help, rides to camp, things of that nature. Be kindly affectionate. When you look up G5387, you got Philo Storgas, and it means this is I think it's the best one. Chiefly of the reciprocal tenderness of parents and children. All right, reciprocal. Given, felt, or done in return. So basically, it's a circle. You do some things for me, I do some things for you. That's a relationship. All right. These are ways you resist Satan. You resist the devil. All right, by showing brotherly love, helping each other, not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord. All right, not slothful, sluggard, backwards in business. 47:10. I think I have that up right. Yep. Giving. Let me get the word first. We got spude, which means to give diligence, interest oneself most earnestly. All right, so that means you're active. You actually you're participating. You're anxious. You're zealous. All right, and you have the indication of speed. You're not just you're not slothful. You're actually the opposite of slothful. You're active. All right, one's interests oneself most earnestly with sincere intention and conviction, seriously. All right. I mean, you don't got to be told to do something. You automatically you into it. You getting into it. You ready to work. All right. If you stay in the spirit, fervent in the spirit. Let's look that up. What zeal, to boil. Use metaphor. Fervent in the spirit said of the zeal for what is good. All right. Yeah, not every day you're going to be enthusiastic, have a high spirit, but, the majority of the time it's our responsibility to lead and direct Israel. So we have to be fervent in the spirit, and we get that from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. Not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving Yahushai. All right. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. We'll look that up since we got this. Since it's there. We Prascatario. To preserve and not to faint. To persevere. It's like to persevere and not to faint. To show oneself courageous, not deterred by danger or pain, brave. And these are qualities you got to have to be able to continue. All right. Business again. 47:10. Haste. Okay. Care. Yeah. Fullness. Carefulness. All right. Next precept is Luke. Well, not slothful in business. I guess I want to talk about that. You're not slothful in business, man. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta be earnest about the the ministry that the Lord made us overseers of. All right. It's not a light thing the Lord gave us when he gave us the knowledge. All right. It says many are called, but few are chosen. Let's hope we're chosen. Now, we're definitely called. We're going out preaching, but whether we're chosen or not is up to Yahweh Shai. This goes back to counting the costs, about the tower. Discipleship tested. We got to bear our cross, which is humiliation, being subject to death. All right. You got to bear our cross. For which of you, this is Luke 14:28, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. Yeah, so the analogy is, when you build something, you got to finish it. Like you have a car project, you got to put in another engine, remanufactured engine, or transmission in the car. You may can build another car, but you didn't finish the first car you were building. Yeah, but you can build another car, and drive down the road, but you had this first project you're working on that you didn't finish. All right. So when we come into the faith, we have to finish. All right, because we can't start another project. All right. So less happily, it says, whether he have sufficient to finish it, less happily after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begun to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Yeah, how crazy is it going to look if we start and then we just fall out to faith because of demonic thoughts, all right, which were not addressed properly. And you got to control your thoughts. You got to have the ability to be resilient. I believe that means to recover from being hurt or damaged. You can fact check that. Resilient. Yeah, so the point has been made there. The tower, 444. Portagos. This means a fortified structure rising to considerable height to repel a hostile attack or to enable a watchman to see in every direction. So you can say the tower is our, it's us being the truth. You can say it's your mind also, your body, your pathway that you walk in. You got to be fortified against those demonic thoughts, all right, that are pushing and pulling you off your path. All right. Whether you right or wrong, you gotta be able to see that danger, so you can fight against it. All right, so you can be fortified against it. Defense, protection against attack, those demonic attacks. All right, whether you like or dislike something, you gotta realize that those spirits, influence our thought patterns and our actions. So we have to be hyper aware of that. All right. And take it for what it is. Rebuke it. All right. Continue in the faith. Do not give up. All right. And remember, people watching, they're gonna say things. They're gonna have an opinion about you. All right, whether good or bad. All right. You just gotta keep doing the work properly, in order. All right. So we gotta build that tower. A fortified structure rising to a considerable height to repel hostile attacks or to enable a watchman to see in every direction. So we got to be able to see those dangers coming. All right. And mount a defense. This is Ecclesiastes 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. All right. So the mind can conceive many things that are not true. All right. Don't let that be a reason why you have a evil suspicion. It's a feeling or a thought that something is possibly or likely to be true. Satan tells you all types of shit. All right. It's up to you to hash it out, whether it's true or not. And what are you going to do about it if it is true or false? All right. you gotta have a backbone, all right? You gotta be mentally and emotionally strong in his faith to survive for decades. For decades. Maybe deca means 10, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me on that. All right. I think I made the point there. The only vain opinion, overthrowing their judgment. Yeah, because judgment means you part asunder between right and wrong. You make a decision. All right, and if you got evil, you deceived by an opinion that you got, that could cause a whole chain of events. All right, so you got to be very careful on your opinions and how you bring them out. All right, because that suspicion can cause you to look like a fool. An evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. All right, we got James. We got James 4:7. Well, 4:6. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, the power resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Yeah, sometimes you take a step back and analyze yourself and analyze the situation. Look at the big picture. All right, is your thoughts worth your actions you're about to take? All right, verbally or your pathway, how you're going to walk. All right, bring yourself to a lower state and say, and consider this. Like, is it possible that the person that I'm talking to may know more than me? Consider that before you open your mouth. That's why listen and then speak. All right, submit yourselves therefore to the power. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Yeah, you're gonna fail sometimes. You're gonna fail a lot of times, but look, you submit to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the Holy Spirit. That means pray in your mind. When I say that, pray. All right, and deal with the facts, and then you can deal with your opinions. But come to drive it to an end. All right. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to the power, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hearts. Draw nigh to the power, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. All right. So you got to constantly examine yourself. All right. The good of the group. That's not just about yourself. Also, it's about the good of the big picture, the good of the group. Also, don't just consider yourself when you're making your decisions. Consider the whole group. All right. Well, that's what an intelligent person would do. All right. A person that's well versed with dealing with heavy spirits. You would gather with your brothers and work it out. Draw nigh to the power, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts. But I do understand. Some wounds can't be mended. I'm not a believer that every brother's going to make it to the end. I hope I make it. But they may make it without you. Within your particular group. I mean, but you got to consider that. Sometimes shit just happens. And things can't be worked out. All right, but this lesson is it's an exhortation on to how to combat Satan when he influences your thoughts. These are things you can do. This is the basic lesson. You know all this stuff. All right, this is but hearing it gives you builds your strength up nonetheless. All right, Proverbs 4 and 24. Start from 26. You can read the whole thing, but ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Ponder 64:24. We got palas. We got make level, balance, the way to make level or smooth. No, again, we're not going to live these perfect lives where we have everything in a balance, but you have to have standards. You have to know when you're going off. You got to know what's acceptable. You got to know when you got to get out of a situation. You should know when you got to diversify. All right. You can see the writing on the wall. Okay. Ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. Okay. So what? Ponder what? Balance, wait, make level. All right. Again, we're not going to live perfect lives where everything's going to be completely straight. We're going to hit bumps, jagged edges, and everything. But we're supposed to have, a standard. It's another word I'm looking for. A quality about how our life should be balanced. How we should move forward. Develop some type of a routine. You should have a vision of how your life is going to be. Not that it's going to be perfect, but look at the scripture says. Scripture say, ponder to prepare a road. All right. Take the model from the scriptures. All right. Take your model from other brothers that you believe are on the right path. All right. Come up with a plan to get balanced. All right. I can give you advice, but you got to live your own life. All right. You have brothers that live these crazy, sporadic, fucked up, rocky road lives because they've made decisions that's going to affect their lives for the next 10 years. All right. You're responsible for yourself. All right. Ultimately. All right. So if you don't know what you're doing, you better ask another brother. All right. But then, a brother will get get a good attitude if you try to give him advice. That's why, I unless from henceforth, I'm not really going to be giving advice that much unless I'm asked. The next word, some brothers think you hate them if you're critical of their behavior. Of thy feet, where we at? Ways, 1870. Ways. Let all thy ways be established. That's the next word, established. Thy road, thy manner, journey, course of life, moral character, morality, what you believe is right and wrong. All right. Direction. All right. We gotta walk a path, and sometimes it feels lonely. All right. That's why you do have the brotherhood, even if you do feel alone. All right. Some brothers feel they're alone, and that's really their fault. We're not. We are, technically your spiritual fathers, but some brothers might even get offended. You call, you tell them you're your spiritual father because they get offended, like they believe they know every damn thing or they got it. You can clearly see they don't have it. So the only thing you can do as a leader is to, offer your advice. Because that is your responsibility as a leader. And to younger brothers, take the advice. All right. Ponder the path of thy advice, or at least consider it, because you're responsible for yourself ultimately. All right. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. It's a turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. All right. So whatever, evil shit you're doing right now, you should get out of it. All right. Examine yourself. And I examine myself daily. Things I'm working on, things I got to improve. All right. And every time I do a lesson, it helps me do that. It helps me ponder 6424. To weigh, make level, balanced, to weigh out, to make level or smooth. All right. So we can both considering it and smoothing it out. So this would be the better way. I got to get this in order. All right. So I'll leave that there. Not slothful in business. I like that word. This is 4710. Let's end it there. It says to give all diligence, interest oneself most earnestly. So you got to be active. When you called upon, you should be ready to go. All right. You should be stepping up, within your rank. Some brothers, should just be reading, but other brothers, you step up, at times, you give your opinion on certain things, at the appropriate time. All right. Because like the elders and apostles said, we all supposed to be doing videos. So I guess we'll talk about that. Every brother's supposed to be doing videos. If you at the point where you can be you're competent enough to be doing them. All right. So every brother in our camp, I believe, is at that level that they can be doing videos. So we'll guess we'll talk about that. All right. I'll leave that there. I hope you're edified. Shalom.